10% off livestock.
All right. Jumping right to it.
We'll get to that in a second.
That is true.
But welcome back, you guys,
Welcome
to
back.
Waterbox Live.
This is not a lie. That is actually a coupon code.
Well, there you go, guys. You can get 10% off. We're going to jump back to that here in a minute. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Too early in the show to have a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
If you guys haven't already, smash that like button, gently graze it, whatever you want to do with it. Subscribe to the channel.
I don't know why that was
Go back to the 10% off code. I'm just kidding. All right.
What are we doing today?
All right,
Add corals to the 320.
Yep, we're
It's a good
adding
day.
corals from Living Reef to the 320.7 today. This is the first round from them, so super exciting stuff. And of course, if you are engaging in the comments, we have a $100 gift card to give away. And we also have a Living Reef t-shirt for someone also, so make sure you're active in the comments, ask questions, answer questions,
Yeah, for sure.
all of that good stuff. So we, of course, also have our giveaway that goes along with this.
So as you guys may or may not know, if you're new to this series, we're giving away a REEF LX 190.4 at the end of this build, valued at over $5,000. Head over to waterboxaquariums.com/huge, and that's where you're going to sign up. We're going to give you a number of different ways to gain lots of entries, as well as a bonus entry code every week. So we'll drop that at some point today.
Yep, so definitely stay tuned for that. Pay attention. It's a great part of watching it live and all that. So, and we also have, as you've seen, the coupon code from Living Reef.
Yes.
Again, get 10% off all livestock, their corals and inverts. It is code WBLX320. Put that in at checkout, and you'll be able to see some of their beautiful stuff today. But just go to their website, just peruse through all the categories. It's just fire stuff.
Yeah, if you guys are located in the United States, you can ship these corals all over the country. Really great company to support. They're local to us here in Central Florida.
Very lucky.
Amazing corals that are really well kept. Some of the brightest, most colorful, wide range of species you've probably seen anywhere. So.
Yep, and they're about the best people ever. I love them. So
Yeah, they are
Alex
great
and Ann
people.
there are amazing. And we actually were lucky enough to go and check out their store, of course, since
Yeah.
it is local. And we've got some video footage of us visiting on the retail side and checking out their coral.
Sweet.
So everyone's favorite part has got to be checking out all the coral here, and there is a lot of it. This is the retail side of their coral. They do have a coral farm we're going to check out in a little bit. So tell me kind of the layout and what we have going on here.
So we do have 6 independent systems. We do kind of run the parameters, kind of depending on what type of coral we're keeping in there. Like this one right here is going to be a lot of bigger colonies, mostly LPS. We do have a lovely gem tang in here as well, but our bigger Ghanies, Cinerinas, Lobos, Trachees. This is our frag bar section over here. So this is kind of going to be like where some of the beginner-friendly stuff is, smaller frags, stuff we grow a lot of really quickly so we can pass the savings down to you guys. It's the $10, $20, $30, and $40 frags.
Awesome.
So a lot of people will come and pick and choose, you know, sometimes during sales we'll do like buy 3 get 1 free or buy 2 get 1 free.
Nice.
A lot of really nice gems and, you know, good finds in here. So
That's a great thing, because like stuff you grow a lot of, you know, that way someone getting into it or more on a budget can still get a lot of nice coral and have a, I mean, there's a lot to choose from here in a budget area.
Yeah, there's probably like 400 or 500 different frags in here. And you know, we do this because we understand that people starting out don't always want to drop $100, $200, $300 on a frag. They want to be able to get a couple of tester pieces or something easy. And even the more seasoned hobbyists, they just, you know, it's the husbands that are trying to stay on a budget, or you know what I mean.
And there's a lot of, I see anywhere from zoanthids, I see chalices, there's SPS, there's fabias, so it's not like it's just like all bread and butter, normal stuff, so it's a lot of variety. Great deal. So I'm sure this is a very popular section.
Yes, this is very popular take. And then down over here, we're going to have another big LPS system. It's mostly colonies, so trachees, Lobos, acan colonies.
Nice acans.
We do have some really nice Blue Maxima clams in here right now too. Cephalias, everybody's favorite tank. all the Euphilia, torches, frog spawns, hammers. We've got some really nice orange torches, some really nice
everyone
green
loves
hammers.
the Euphilia family. Torches, hammers, frog spawns, they're flowy.
Yeah.
They have a lot of color, they're awesome. I do have to stop because I haven't seen one of these before. Little mini red carpets. They're
Yes.
adorable. They don't really get any bigger than that.
Yeah, perfect for nano tanks. They add a really nice pop of color. They're just a true red in this hobby, which you don't find very
Right.
often. And they're just so cute. Like
I know,
they're
I
like
had to
little
stop.
pillows.
I was like, what is this? And they're really, really cool
Yeah,
looking.
those guys are super cool.
Got some more frags here.
Yep, so mostly Zoas. We do have some trumpets, so you know we grow those things so fast, so we just threw them in there. This section is going to be more of like some of the higher end collector stuff, Blastos, collector Favias, chalices.
So this is the kind of the named area, or just a little bit higher end.
Yeah, a little bit more higher
frags.
end, you know, between like the $50 to $75 range instead of, you know, like the frag bar stuff. But some really nice collector chalices, like some orange crushes, space invaders.
There's a lot of color happening in here.
Yeah. Galaxias.
And all the frags here are grown
yeah,
here.
so everything you see here is going to be grown out in our aquaculture facility. The only thing that I would say we're not currently growing right now are like scollies and trachees. Just, you know, it's
Can't.
almost impossible. So,
Yes. So basically, I mean, you're running, I'd say, 80%
probably
aquaculture here.
80% aquaculture.
That's
yeah.
amazing. You know, we always are talking about aquaculture and how it benefits the environment and trying to go as much aquaculture as possible between fish and coral.
Yeah.
So seeing something that's this full of coral
Yeah.
and almost all of it being grown here at your farm is
Yeah.
really awesome. And you definitely want to look for places like that, or like you said, they have all these stuff online available
Yeah,
for sale.
we do offer all of these frags online as well. We want to push towards that sustainability, not only just because it is better for everybody, but we're able to make sure that they're tank hardened, they're pest free, they're going to retain color,
Yeah.
and that they're just going to survive. You know, these corals that have been grown in captivity are able to handle parameter swings a lot easier
It's a lot
than
hardier.
something that's just coming out of the ocean. So
And right now, it also is harder to find
yeah,
corals.
yes.
So there's a lot of restrictions and bans that are happening because of the toll that this is taking
The reefs
on
are taking, yeah.
Yeah, so this, you know, is saving the reefs, allowing you to have a ton of different variety for people without taking it from the environment.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So you can see we got a
Absolutely.
whole long line.
Yep, and
Some
it goes
beautiful
all the way down
anemones.
here. These are our, they're not, you know, they're rose bubble tips, but they're just not your ordinary rose bubble tips. They're just incredibly bright.
They're very, very
One
bright.
of our little Da Vinci's is hosting,
You can see the close up
them is hosting
there.
the cloud. Yeah, there's a little guy right there.
They're beautiful.
Some acans, some encrusting corals, Cyphastrias, clove polyps.
What a great
And then-
selection
yep.
everywhere.
And then this is kind of just our almost stepchild tank right now. We need to get everything. This is our, what do you call it? When you throw everything together, a hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge
Yeah,
tank?
it's got
Alright.
a little bit of everything. It's
You
got
gotta have one of
Montes,
those.
SPS, yeah.
Well, there's definitely, if you ever come to Living Reef here at the retail store, there's a ton to choose from. It's all beautiful and super healthy. I think we get to check out the farm now.
Yes.
All
There
right.
you have it. Beautiful store.
It is. It's a beautiful store. Tons of corals packed into there. A little bit of everything. I was kind of walking around when we were there and just kept seeing new, cool,
Yeah.
different types of coral.
It's pretty incredible. If you guys are in the Orlando area, you got to go check them out. But if you're not, you can always head over to livingreeforlando.com.
Yep. So they have their coral farm as well. So they do a lot of aquaculture, and most of what you see in the store, of course, besides like large colonies that can't really be fragged, is from their farm. So it's aquacultured, which is what we're always big push for, is just things that are environmentally friendly, so aquaculture. And we got a nice exclusive tour of the coral farm that no one else really gets to see. So this is your chance to get that sneak peek in. We're at the farm, little sneak peek for you guys. Pretty special to be in here. Alex is going to show us around, but first, this farm's kind of new.
Yeah, this is new for us. So, you know, aquaculture is definitely the future when it comes to this hobby, and we're definitely trying to be a part of that. So, this has only been going for about 6 months, so we're just starting to finally start, you know, getting corals in here and loading up. Obviously, the tanks have to cycle and do their thing. But I'm gonna show you guys what we got going on so far and show you some real cool corals.
So before you had the farm, you did a lot of this in the actual retail store,
Yes.
which is very space limiting. So
Yes.
I'm glad to see this is a huge upgrade. There's going to be a lot of awesome stuff going on here. But first thing I want to take a look at is this is actually where all the corals that are sold online are.
Correct.
So there's a lot of variety in here. And you keep it here so it's just easier to track when it's online and selling it and packing it up. You got your shipping station here.
Yep.
So where all can people find Living Reef corals?
So obviously our website, livingreeforlando.com, it gets updated weekly. There's always a ton of stuff on there. The variety is gonna be amazing. You're definitely gonna see some stuff on the website you're not gonna see in the store. You know, a lot of the nicer, really crazy collector stuff does stay back here in the farm. So if anybody local ever wants to check it out, you let us know, we'll bring you back here. But livingreeforlando.com. And then we also do a lot of sales on Reef to Reef. We do, you know, flash sales and live sales. So stay tuned to that. And to get that info, you can do a couple things. If you jump on our website, you can sign up to our newsletter. That's one way to keep in touch. Obviously, you could like all our socials, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And then the other thing is we have a text program, and you can sign up to that and receive updates. And any of those things, if you do them, you'll get a coupon code for your first purchase too. So
you guys are very engaging, lots of places to kind of get your stuff. So definitely check this out. You also see a lot of the corals that are going to the LX will be linked over to you guys so you can see some of the exact stuff that's going in. So a big old tank of stuff for people to buy online. But I gotta say, I'm absolutely in love with this one here. SPS are probably one of my absolute favorite corals, my least favorite to keep, but my favorite coral. And there's a beautiful variety here. Lots of millies, tons of acros. And this is not an easy thing to keep this beautiful and colorful. So they are a lot harder to keep. Like, what is specialized care that you guys do for something like this?
So when it comes to the acros, yeah, they're definitely, you know, SPS in general is a little harder to keep. If you cater to them and you hit all the core basics right, and you know, lighting, this, that, and the other, once they take off, they take off. So that's my favorite part about them. But you know, we strive to get to that next level where everything is just absolutely as best as it can be, as rainbow as it can be, the best polypic section it can have, all that type of stuff. So you know, the parameters are very important. The lighting's very important.
They have to be very, very stable.
Stability's number one for sure, absolutely.
And I see him talking about lighting, is that we are lit by what looks like all radions pretty much here.
Yep, so the farm runs off of all Gen 5 radions. There's a mixture of Pro and Blues in here. And you know, pretty much everything in the farm is EcoTech, minus maybe a couple things, but everything runs off of Vectras and MP40s and radions. So big shout out to EcoTech.
Should be an easy transition over to our tank because we use the same exact stuff. So beautiful up here, tons of SBS, but I gotta say the size of this sump and refugium is a bit insane. So if you look down here, I mean, there are 10 7-inch filter sumps.
Yeah.
You've got all of this as a refugium, which is great for nutrient control and live food source, but it's probably one of the biggest refugiums I've seen on a system. And you're lighting it with a bright red and white spectrum, you said?
Yes, yes.
So,
they're lights specifically made for the macroalgae. A lot of red. And these guys kind of run on a reverse cycle, so we run them about 16 hours a day, starting early in the evening to later in the morning, and you know, that keeps the mackerels just growing and exporting all those nutrients.
That is just a massive sump, but obviously you need a lot of filtration to keep everything this beautiful.
Yep.
So as we move on down here, and you said as this system, as the farm is still a bit newer, a lot of tanks are still in the cycling stage. So you'll see here you've got fish in there just kind of getting everything stabilized before you move stuff over. You can't jump a cycle too quickly, especially in something like this.
Especially not with all the crazy high-end coral and stuff. You gotta let the tanks do their thing.
So this is just going to be basically more grow out of some of your collector type of items.
So all the grow out kind of starts here. What you guys saw in the back is just what kind of holds online coral. There's a little bit of, you know, there's some SPS in there, but that's just now while we're cycling. But going forward this way, the way the tanks are broken down is it's essentially 3 tanks per system. So you'll have like what we call like the mother tanks, and that's those 2 big tanks with a lot of rock, sand, substrate. You know, it almost runs like a display tank. And then when we frag out of these systems, we'll have the colonies growing here. We move them over to the smaller tank. And this is kind of where we keep all the frags on the rock and stuff.
Nice.
And all that is all clumped together into one massive sump. And And that's kind of how it gets broken down. Each one of these are a little over 2,000 gallons.
Wow.
And there will be several of these runs all the way down to the end of the farm once we're finished.
When it's all complete and done here, like we're gonna have 20,000+ gallons.
Yeah,
in here?
so about 25,000 if you
Wow.
can't count the tanks under the tank. So this kind of has double-decker tanks. So there's tanks up here, but then underneath it, there's tanks connected to the sumps too that hold coral. So it's corals up top,
Maximizing
corals on
all
the
the
bottom.
space.
Absolutely.
Very, very smart.
Yep.
The more corals that you can grow, of course, the better for
Absolutely.
environment and more selection and stuff.
Yep.
So this is where everything kind of grows, heals, and goes from there.
Yeah, we break it down. This is like, so this whole middle section, all these like 7,000 gallons, by the time we get to the end, this will all be mostly LPS and soft coral.
Okay.
This whole run here, which will be another 9, tanks of these big systems, this will all be SPS. And then on the wall, we have another 9 tanks, and those tanks do, part of them do quarantine, part of them
Okay.
are for grow out or intake, different things. The quarantine is very important when it comes to growing coral. So all the corals here go through a pretty strict 12-week quarantine, and they
Wow.
get bounced down all those tanks till they're
What are you
till
looking
they're
for
ready.
in a quarantine? Most people don't think about quarantine coral; they think about it for fish.
Yeah.
What are you looking for when you're quarantining a coral?
Obviously, a part of this hobby that doesn't get talked about enough is these things can have pests on them. So obviously that's number one. Number two, we want to make sure the corals are as healthy as possible once they've transitioned and acclimated to aquarium life.
Okay.
That when the customer receives these corals, they're going to be as hardy as they can be. They hopefully by then they're acclimated to aquarium life enough that even if a customer does have a small up or down in their tank or anything like that, the
not gonna
corals
be
they're not going to be as sensitive as a fresh coral. You know?
True. So very well conditioned. Okay.
absolutely.
Looking through here, as you said, like your mother tanks, and they do look like beautiful displays. You have so much different variety, like a lot of chalices.
Yep.
The amount of gold and nice torches in the middle there, those are hard to find.
Yeah, there's some really nice Holy Grail torches in there, a bunch of different gold ones, dragon souls, just a bunch of nice stuff. The Ghani Garden's beautiful.
The Ghani Gardens might be my favorite thing ever. I'm obsessed. There's some beautiful color varieties in there, and I definitely have to have some Ghanis for the LX for
sure.
sure. Definitely one of my favorite LPS on those. Got cool little mushrooms over here. But it's nice to see the big picture of what their
Yeah.
frag is going to become.
Yeah.
And what is that thing?
So that's a Space Invader mycelium. It's a chalice.
Okay.
That's one of the massive colonies we have of that coral. It grows really fast for us. We have a lot of big colonies, and we're getting to the point where the tanks are, nice and cycled, and they're doing really well. So we're starting to move over all these big colonies, and that's pretty much what this is going to be. It's just going to hold big old colonies and get fragged down all the time to provide nice little baby frags for everyone.
This is pretty cool. It's a trio of
Yes.
encrusting. What are those?
Yep, those are Montes. They're some of the nicer varieties, Undados or Paloensis, and those are like the rainbow ones. So
That's
really
pretty cool on the branch, and they're kind of like cresting over and hanging down.
Yeah, that was in our display tank. We're getting ready to knock it down, but it's real cool that they grew together like that.
All right, and then over here is kind of before too much goes in the cycling stage. You've
Yep.
gotten the rock to color up. You've got your fish in there, and
Yep.
then that's when you'll start putting more mother colonies in here.
Exactly. This tank's going on
Start that
about
over.
3 months, so
Okay.
this is going to be all acros pretty much. We've put in a couple tester pieces. They're actually doing amazing. Polyp
Awesome.
extension is really good. Color's getting really good. So I would say we're pretty close to being ready here, but this is what it looks like when it's, when it's cycling and stuff. So
I have to say, your rockscaping's really good. I
Thank
like
you.
it. I
Thank
like
you.
it a
Thank
lot. Very nice and open. So, as you see, there's a lot of going on here, but the main thing to look at is how much more room
yeah.
you guys are going to be growing this farm.
Yeah, so this just keeps on coming back.
So you're going to have tanks coming all the way
All the way
this far?
down to here. So
All the way to here? Okay.
These are the last stands for this side. So this side has all the stands ready, and then we're waiting on the tanks and stands for this. That should be here soon, but it just keeps on coming down. Each of these tanks, to give you guys an idea, I don't know if on camera you can tell, but these are massive 8-foot
Yeah.
by 4-foot wide aquariums. They're not little tanks. These are big old tanks, and these here are 8-foot by 36. So those are real big, long tanks too. And once it's done, there should be quite a bit of coral in here.
So there's a lot more to come from Living Reef.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll be able to come back and visit as the farm gets filled
Yeah,
up even
absolutely.
more, see where the progress is. We're really excited about the build of the REEF LX with you guys.
Yeah, we're
and
stoked to
there's
be
gonna be
part
a
of it.
lot of awesome stuff coming our way.
Oh yeah, we'll get you guys hooked up.
Thank you. That place is awesome.
It is.
It's something that most people don't get to see or have that like level of a shop in their area. So gonna be able to show that to what Living Reef has retail side, but also kind of behind the scenes for the farm. It's really cool and something I think they love to see for sure.
Yeah. I'd like to see a lot more stores doing that kind of thing too, because it's just, I mean, for sustainability, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's all about aquaculture as much as you physically can. Buy aquacultured corals, fish, any of that, just because it is going to be better. It's going to keep the hobby going longer and protecting the oceans and stuff as well. But of course, like when you're starting to get coral, you got to have some considerations when you're adding your first coral, or looking online, deciding what you want to get. Is their care requirements and how to pick out the proper corals for the time being. So when you're lucky enough to be able to walk into a store, you can ask a lot of those questions as you're looking through them. But like for your beginner corals, you definitely want to start whenever you're adding stuff is stick with your soft corals. You want to stick zoanthids, mushrooms, star polyps, anything that doesn't have a stony base. They're going to be the easiest. They're going to require the less amount of light. You can have more water fluctuations, and they're still going to be okay. And they're going to grow a little bit faster. So it's kind of a more instant reward with those, especially if it's your first time doing coral. That's definitely the way to go. Don't jump in and put your first coral as some of the hardest stuff to keep, because it's not going to go very well for you.
Yeah, you want success early on. That's important.
Yeah, take it slow and kind of add in the right order. Once you've done soft corals for a while, you can move on to stuff that has like a stony base. So there's like torches and hammers. They're fleshy. They still have some like movement to them, but they do have a stone base that they grow. Duncans and some of your easier like Favias and stuff are good for like that middle group of coral to add. They're going to need good lighting, stable water quality, because they do have to build that skeleton base. So you've got more needs as far as like alkalinity and calcium go. And then you kind of can progress further along the line to the more stone they have that they have to grow, the harder they are to keep. And the more requirements they have. So stick with like all fleshy, and then slowly move up to the amount of stone that they have. Always kind of consider placement where you're putting them. If they're a soft coral, they're going to grow along the rock, and or go up themselves like a leather. And when you put them on a rock, envision where they're going to go and how they're going to grow and what you put next to it. You don't want two competing corals that are so close they grow the same way. They end up kind of running into each other and stinging. Definitely think of the long term as you place your corals into the aquarium. Some are going to grow vertical, some are going to spread out, some are going to be a little more aggressive and can sting stuff closer to them as well. So you want to make sure they have enough space. And then some corals just belong with a sand bed. A lot of times your like trachyphilias and wellstows and stuff are better off on the sand bed. So ask as many questions as you can whenever you're looking at coral, but that's a good guideline of kind of where to start, and then work your way up to different types of coral.
Research, and then research some more.
There you go.
And join the Waterbox Aquariums Facebook group, because there's about 15,000 people there.
Happy to
that
give
are
you
eager to answer or help you out.
Yeah, lots of beautiful tanks in there, a lot of great questions that a lot of people probably run into and want to know the answer to. So it's a great source of information for anyone learning or has been doing it for forever. It's just great inspiration and knowledge is either way. All right, so speaking of all this coral stuff, Living Reef sent us a box of coral to add, and we're gonna go and put those into the LX now, see some of the beautiful stuff that they sent. And
I wonder if we need to turn this light on.
I do want to mention to you guys that we do have a bonus entry code for you this episode. We're going to jump into that after
I don't think
corals.
so. Looks okay out there. What do you think?
I think it's fine.
We'll look. It'll look better in the tank if we keep it up. So
Okay. All right, so Living Reef, just like they will for you, shipping their corals, they're going to be insulated. And depending on the time of the year, it's either going to be a heat pack or a cold pack. Obviously, we're Florida, so it's a cold pack because it is melting hot here. It's gross out, actually.
Yeah, it is.
It's disgusting
It's
at
gross
this time
hot.
of year.
It's not only hot, but it's humid.
It's hot, it's humid. Florida's great, but not this time of year. So we're gonna just go ahead and you see everything is individually bagged and also named here. And they're in plenty of water. And they're also, you'll see most of these are in these little cups that keeps the coral itself from being smushed in the bag. So it's all rolling around, but the coral itself is not getting hit anywhere. So it's really smart packaging to make sure that your coral comes to you not stressed, not damaged, as much as they have in their power to do. So this one here, we have the Baja Blast Goniopora. All right. There we go. You can see a picture of that from the website, because putting in corals, you don't necessarily get to embrace what they look like right away. When they come in, they're going to be closed. So you see the Goniopora is all closed up. His tentacles will come out, but this way you can kind of see. No, I'm too short for this. So there's your Baja. Gonioporas are pretty cool because they can completely go into their skeleton, even though they have long flowy tentacles. They are kind of a moderate care. They do require a good amount of feeding and good water quality. So not something, if it's your very first tank and adding your first coral, is probably your best bet to go with. All right, we have Meteor Shower Cyphastria. See, beautiful. This is an encrusting coral, so it is going to grow all along your rock.
I really like these. They grow fast.
They
too.
do grow pretty fast for being a harder coral. If I can open a bag, we'd be doing good.
I was just thinking about, I want to create some sort of like the WB, the water box, and then get a Cyphastria to encrust the whole WB.
Yes. This one's going to encrust. This little polyps stick out. It's a nice color contrast. Relatively easy to keep as well. We should do it on the back overflow of the thing. So yeah, I've done it before. Like you put like heart shapes for like Valentine's. Like you can cover them with certain ones, or any kind of like little skulls. Cover it with like an encrusting thing. It's really cool looking. We have some red hornet zoanthids. And this is one of those soft corals I was talking about. It's easy to care for. It doesn't have a skeletal base, so it's a great beginner coral. This is a pretty well sought after one. The color contrast is really, really nice on these. You can't go wrong with zoos. I love putting a whole bunch of colors in one area and letting them make like a little zoanthid garden.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's about 1 million color combinations.
Million color combinations, and they can get about as expensive as you want them to.
Yes, there can be some really, really expensive ones, but they're all bright and beautiful, and they're going to grow pretty well for you. A good way to start. All right, this one here is the hammer. Oh, flinging water. There you go. That looks like the splatter hammer. This is one of those kind of easier LPS versions. You see they have their skeleton base that they have to grow, but they have a lot of nice flesh on them. These are in the same families like torches, frog spawns. They're the Euphyllia family. Very popular because it gives movement, and they're just really pretty.
They're already saying you're not wearing gloves.
Why do I need gloves?
I just had to say it. It's funny. I think it's just become a thing now.
Probably.
One day you're going to have gloves on and they're going to be like, what?
I know, but I'm
You
not.
should.
No.
You should,
But I'm not.
But I'm not. This one we have the Worldwide Corals AIO zoanthids. Same thing. All zoanthids and stuff are going to be good beginner corals. Going to grow nicely and have a whole bunch of different color to them. Nice cool yellow center. And this is another cool encrusting. This is the jack-o'-lantern lepto. And the same thing with this, it's gonna encrust to the rock like really nice and flat. You can make have it cover different shape things, really whatever. But this one I particularly like just because of how bright the yellow eyes are in contrast to that almost like peachy orange. Definitely glows in a tank as it fills in.
Yeah. I do want to mention to the viewers also that these corals are up on the website. So if you want to go check them out, waterboxaquariums.com/huge.
Yep, and then it shows you the pictures of them, can link you over to Living Reef's website, and they have a whole tab for all the corals that are going into the LX and ones that you can purchase that are the same type. So you see something you like, it's easy, just go over there, got a coupon code, and you're good to go. Orange
awesome.
Crush Chalice. Oh my. End up getting water all over you, Keenan. Chalices are LPS, very popular category. They have a lot of different colors, and some of them can be insanely expensive. I don't know, was it probably like 8-9 years ago that chalices like took over as like one of the most popular corals? There was a huge chalice craze. Still very popular. And
It's,
a lot
it's
of
incredible the
color
color
varieties that come out.
variations that they have. And what's
Yep.
funny about chalices is like I used to scuba dive a lot, and you know, even if you just kind of like look at pictures online, you wouldn't really notice the chalices because they tend to be in like the more shaded areas down, and you just don't. They're not prominent on the reef, but they
Yep.
become prominent in the aquarium hobby.
Yes.
It's just very weird.
And they're usually pretty good growers too. For them, I mean, for the most part as a category, they grow at a decent rate. They are an LPS, so they do require, you know, the moderate lighting, good water quality to keep them happy and growing. This is your Duncans. Love Duncans. You've seen them in a lot of our tanks. They add flow. They're fun to feed, to like spot feed. Give him a lot of space to open up because they'll get a lot bigger. And definitely one of those great beginner LPS corals to go with. Super hardy. If you spot feed them, they're going to grow really fast. They pop out little babies all around, and eventually you just have this big old head of Duncans.
Do you have to feed them?
If you want them to grow, they're
Yeah.
going to be pretty like slow growing and not as happy if you don't feed them. But they're super easy because they grab food. They just take some isis or frozen fish food and put it right on. They close up really quickly and eat. So that doesn't like not one of those that takes slow feeding. So it's easy to do. This is the Acans. The name of it got washed off. Huh? Laser beam Acans. There we go.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew. Sound effects and all. Acans are also an LPS coral, and this is one of those ones that they have about usually anywhere from like 4 to like 10 intricate colors in them. And they fluff up really nicely, so you can get a really large variety of colors of the Acans. And they're another one that also benefits from spot feeding. They will grow much, much faster for you if you feed them. That's true to most corals, but certain LPS are particularly like, good for spot feeding.
That corner's looking bright.
Right, it's looking
Poppin'.
good. We have our green Recordia. Recordia are like a bubbly, fancy mushroom. They're actually local to Florida.
Yeah,
There he is.
I really like them. It's kind of like you were talking with the zoo gardens. You can create these little gardens of Recordia, different colors.
Yes.
You know.
So you got like greens, oranges. Sometimes they have like outer rims of different color. There's like purples, blues. But they're cool because they just look like little tiny bubbles. Their texture is very, very neat. And to go along with that one, we have an Ultra Recordia. And this is like the orange. I was just saying that they come in as well.
Orange with like a blue center kind of.
Yeah, a lot of times like their rim has a little bit different color to it. So you can see this one actually has like the yellow-green rim to it. You got the purple, the orange, and kind of like a purplish blue in the center with the mouth. You can see it's a very nice color pop. And those are, I can put them on a rock near each other and they'll just continue to like grow and reproduce. And then you just have a nice Recordia rock. Well, the fail fins come to clean anything. Tangs are great. They'll come clean your frag plug if there happen to be any kind of algae or anything on them. Everlasting gobstoppers. Another good growing, easy coral. So these are like your polythoas, zoanthids. And as they open, you'll see they have like really nice pink center with lines, that eye color, and then they'll have like a nice frilly little skirt on them. I love the new.
I was just gonna say, I like how this one has like multiple colors. It's not just like green. It's got like orange, green, purple.
Yeah, no, pick some beautiful stuff. I love the name of this one. This is a freak hair pavona. It's a very cool coral, but I do love the name. And this one is also going to encrust.
It's not on there.
Oh, you should be able to get a good shot. See, it's pretty open. So it's got like this purple maroon base, and then lots of tiny little tentacles on it that have like that yellow green. So those get bigger, and it looks like a really like fuzzy hair, I guess. But you can check that out on their site, and we'll also make sure we link that one on there. No one got left off the list. But that'll encrust as well, and it's just a really neat color contrast. We have a Space Invader chalice. Ah.
That's bright.
Yeah. I said the chalices, there's so many varieties you can get. And I've seen almost like full chalice tanks, and they're mind-blowing. You see, this is, I mean, across the room, that's going to stop you every single time because it's just so like neon bright. What's the name of the Favia that's left? Split personality Favia. There we go.
You know, just with those chalices, I also wonder, like in the wild, you probably don't see anywhere near the colors that you see in an aquarium in the wild.
No.
Under natural sunlight, especially in the deeper areas. Where
No, exactly. Like pretty much any of your corals, look at that thing, that's beautiful. Any of your corals, if you see them in the ocean, you would just kind of swim past them because you wouldn't see all these colors in that like super yellow spectrum that the ocean has from the sun.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you're gonna go by these huge chalices, they would look kind of brown and maybe greenish, and then if you put a blue light on them, you realize like, wow, this is like beautiful
There's
chalice.
lots of pigments you just don't see.
Mm-hmm. Aquarium lighting really pops the color, so you can visually appreciate it. So I have to say that is a beautiful lineup. We have a lot of different colors. We've got orange, green, pink, peach, like red, all of the colors. A beautiful selection from Living Reef on this round for sure. And then what I'll do is work on getting them all put into place, make sure they're happy, and then glue them down in their permanent spot.
One of the things that's hard when you're buying corals is to not make everything green.
It is.
So that's really nice because you have all the colors. That's one of the things you kind of got to look at when we're buying corals, because there are a lot of green corals.
Right, and that's the benefit of a place like Living Reef is like if you go on their site, you're gonna see so much orange and red and pink and purple, like all the colors, along with green, but green's the easiest to find like in general. But you have to like find those places that have a nice mix of everything. Because green you want green in your tank because it has a nice pop, but you need all those other colors to kind of like spread around so everything pops against itself.
Right.
So it's kind of like interior decorating for an aquarium when you place them, because like you don't want to put 3 green corals next to each other. I always like do green, orange, mix them up so that every color pops against the other ones. If you have a ton of green ones together, then they all kind of tone themselves out.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
It is. So I would say
aquarium
beautiful.
Interior decorating.
It is. Coral interior decorating, along with some aquascaping. It's truly,
It's kind
an
of
art form. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
We're giving away a shirt.
We do. So we have a Living Reef shirt for one person. And there we go. The winner is Trinity. Congratulations on a Living Reef Orlando shirt. Email winners at waterboxaquariums.com and they will get you all set up.
Cool, cool.
Awesome.
You didn't do the bonus word.
No, the bonus word is next.
Because I know you guys have been waiting patiently for 40 minutes for this bonus word. That's why you're all here.
And to get your extra entries into this giveaway, your bonus word this week is? Oh. Yeah, nope. And?
Maybe.
No. You rushed us and you weren't even ready.
The bonus word is Space Invader.
Nice. Haha. Enter that in for your extra entries into the giveaway. Make sure you watch every single week so you can get the bonus word.
Yep.
You don't want to miss out on all the extra entries.
We do have a URL, a link in the description below to get to that page, or you can head to waterboxaquariums.com/huge.
Yep, and if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see all those pictures of what was added and their names, and also just link over to Living Reef's page. They have a tab at the top that says the REEF LX coral or whatever, and it has all of them in there, as well as the inverts that they have sent.
Cool.
So, if we have questions, maybe. Yes.
No question.
Nope. Okay.
I think Anne has done an awesome job.
Yes, Anne has been killing it on answering people's questions in here, so we actually do not have a Q&A time.
Cool.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Thank you,
Anne.
We appreciate it.
We really appreciate you being on here because she can answer them best, your questions for Living Reef. Feel free, of course, reach out to them through all the social media platforms. Check out their website, go to their Facebook, anything. Check them out. So we do have a $100 gift card to give away.
Yes.
someone?
If you guys don't already know, every week live, we are giving away a $100 gift card during this series, so you got to tune in.
Yes, and don't forget about coupon code Living Reef. Go check them out. So the winner is for the Waterbox gift card. Woo!
Kit 1999.
Kit 1999. Congratulations. Woo!
Email winners@waterboxaquariums.com. They'll get you hooked up with your gift card.
This is a good show.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff that you don't usually get to see. Beautiful corals are in the LX. You'll see more updates on those, get them all put up on the rock and everything. Make sure you check us out every Thursday to see the progress of the LX.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to talk to you guys about LED lighting for reef aquariums. Very important part. Your lighting is a big sustainable source for your corals for growth and color. So definitely stay tuned to that.
If you guys liked this video or didn't like this video, make sure you hit the like button.
But not the dislike
Because the
button.
like button is actually mandatory. So Jess says so.
Yes, absolutely.
We appreciate that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, but also make sure to hit those notifications because we are here live twice a week.
We are.
Right now, and that's how we want you to get the notification that we're here.
Perfect.
So
See you next week.
thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, turn on those notifications, and for more information on this series, visit waterboxaquariums.com/huge.
Tune in live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to learn about how you can get more entries to our REEF LX 190.4 giveaway.
Plus, we're giving away $100 gift cards every episode, but you have to be with us here live to win.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.